I really wish what I was about to talk about in this video, that I was making it up, that it was satire, that somehow somebody did a good AI fake. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because Fox News, as dumb as they are, have gotten even dumber, because they had to report and rip into Superman and what James Gunn said about Superman, because Fox is dumb. I'm going to say this right now. I say this all the time. If you ever listen to the podcast, you know where we stand. You know our views, you know everything. If this upsets you, if you become one of these, or if you are one of these Fox lunatics, we don't want you here. Dislike the video, comment that you're leaving, whatever. We don't care. It's quite obvious on this channel, if you've been here since the beginning or are new, if you've ever listened to us, what we talk about as a group, and I can vouch for everybody that's on this podcast currently and that will be in the future. Equality, acceptance of others' beliefs, religion, sexual orientation, whatever. We support you. Literally nothing against you. We support your right to live, self-express yourself, and be who you are. And obviously, we stand for freedom of speech. Being able to say what you want, we fully support that. Obviously, if it gets hateful, if it hurts people, if it's derogatory and meant to, literally be against people, then no, we don't think you should have free speech if you want to hurt a bunch of people with your free speech or oppress them. This is quite obvious. I'm talking about this because I know a bunch of people are going to be upset in the comments. They're going to leave whatever. They're going to leave the channel, unsub, whatever. Here's the truth. We don't care. If your core belief is if people are different than me, I hate them and I don't want them around, leave. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get into Fox News because good God. So here's what happened. So Fox News, one of the anchors, was talking about how she went to a recent game, a Mets game, and a bunch of the people there were not doing what they're supposed to for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. It's a free country, right? Isn't that what Fox News is all about as well? It's a free country. People don't have to pledge allegiance, right? We're all clear on that, right? Also, many people, not sure if you're aware of this, do not believe in what the United States is doing today or in recent years with this administration and the last one. I want to blast both of them because, hey, not a fan of either. So just to make that clear, not a fan of either of the political parties. A lot of people do not believe in what the Pledge of Allegiance was or what America's core values is or are or were and are going to be. So that's just something we got to get used to. And while talking about this, Fox goes on and talks a little bit more about what's going on. And they bring up how the game was advertising Superman. Of course, because Superman is everywhere. They're spending ungodly amounts of money. So the host that's talking, she says that she doesn't appreciate going to the movies to see movies preaching political ideologies and things being, forced on people, like specific beliefs that they don't want. She doesn't like going to watch movies where you're being lectured to and they're preaching these beliefs on you that you don't agree with, and how it's shameful that there's films like Superman that are forcing their ideology on you if you just want to be entertained. Now I'm going to stop right there before we get into racist remarks, because of course there were, because it's Fox. So first and foremost, Superman is a immigrant, so that's what I'm going to tackle first. To the United States, everybody knows this, to the world, and he represents truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Previously, it used to be truth, justice, and the American way, but they changed that in the last decade because Superman, his ideals don't line up with the American values that have been here since, since Independence Day. You can really say 1776, right? That's when it all kind of became the America we know now. So now let's get into the second part of this with the whole Superman thing and preaching, and religious preaching at that, or beliefs. Some of you that don't know, I get it, you're not in the United States, maybe you don't care about history, but it goes back well over 200 years. Either way, though, what's fascinating about this is the fact that they're so upset. Yet these are the same people that when you watch them and when they're recommending movies, they're recommending you films to go watch instead. And they're all ones that are about, religious things or preaching this or that. And not that I have anything wrong with religious films. One of my favorite films of all time, I don't think I've ever actually talked about it much, is The Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston. Absolute masterpiece of a film. I think it is almost a perfect film. I highly suggest everybody watch it. Even if you're not religious, you should watch that film. It is amazing. And I don't care about films that are, preaching or doing whatever. It's what it is, okay? Sometimes they can ham it up. But being upset that Superman is going to embrace this and James Gunn is saying he's going to tackle these issues is beyond moronic. And now this brings me to the next comment where one of the hosts says, you know what his cape says, what the S stands for? MS-13. Because there was a illegally detained Latin American who they badly had photoshopped MS-13 on his actual hands, and they used that as evidence despite the fact that it was obviously photoshopped and it was absolutely appalling. Yeah, why not just bring that up because, that was proven to be wrong. Now, of course, is that an actual thing? Yes, it is. MS-13 is a thing. But why pull that racist little thing out there and just toss it out so nonchalant? You guys get what I'm saying? The fact that they had to make a news point out of this and just sit there and throw out these stupid claims, not even understand or represent what James Gunn was saying, and then being upset that it's an immigrant story when he's literally an immigrant that protects the whole world. I mean, I don't put it past Fox. They're the ones championing a camp opening down south that's subhuman to say the least, but hey, welcome to that world. So I really don't know what else I can say. If you made it this far and you're still with us, I guess maybe you have a conscience. I don't know what else I can say. If you've rage quit, left an insult down there or something, whatever, I really don't care. I've heard them all, so that's cool. Thanks for sticking with us, and if you fall into any singular group that's being oppressed or hated for your beliefs, for LGBTQ plus standing or whatever, know we support you. Not everybody in the United States is a complete douchebag. It's just unfortunate that the loud ones get the most coverage because negativity sells. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.